Yeah, I'm hoping, being that it's called Traumazine, I'm assuming trauma. I don't know what the zine is. It trauma and limousine, trauma and benzene peroxide, trauma and magazine. You guys will be getting an exclusive. Yeah, an exclusive. Today we will be listening to Megan Thee Stallion's second studio album, Traumazine, for the first time in real time. You guys will get to see my real reaction in real time. You'll actually get to see my first impression and what I think of the album. And make sure you make it to the end where we will then decide what could be her next biggest hit from this second studio album. All right, so we're just gonna start off by looking up the album wherever it might be. We're gonna try YouTube. And let's see if she has lyrics. So she doesn't have lyrics. We're already getting off to the wrong start, child. Let me stick to the script. Okay. Okay, so this is the first song, NDA. And I guess in the meantime, I'm gonna have to look up the lyrics. Okay. I've heard enough. So, NDA, for what it's worth as an intro, it is an amazing intro. I don't see it being a single, but it is a great intro. She was speaking some real stuff, I think. So, NDA, we're going to rate it. We're going to just say 1 through 10. I give it a 7. That's just me. Ungrateful featuring Key Glock. This sounds good. This really does. Right. Oh, I like that. Flexible schedule. Okay, she got a couple cool points with me from that. Okay, yeah. Yeah. That's an 8. I've heard enough. That's an 8. That was a good flexible schedule that did it for me. She completely understands that she has found a lane and she knows what works for her, and this flow, it fits for the songs that she decides to cut. So next song is Not Nice. Okay. So the H Town Hottie has made a huge claim, you guys. She is not nice, and I want to let you know I was not in fear of thinking you were nice. And after hearing this song, you confirm you are not nice, Megan. Starting to feel like it kind of sounds like what I just heard the first two songs. Um, but if that is how it's supposed to go, that's how it's supposed to go. So off just individually first listening, I'm gonna give that a 7 too. It gives me I just lit the blunt. I'm really high off my behind, and I just want to hear something with a good beat and just saying some real stuff. So if that's what you were going for, girl, bravo. We're gonna have the record Budget, which is featuring Lotto, Big Lotto, 777, whatever we call her. So let's get into it. Okay, let's go. Okay, she found her hit. She found her hit. Okay. It sounds so fresh, so out of the box for Megan. I love the beat, kind of resembling like a early 2000s, maybe 90s video game. With Lotto, it just sounds so good. She did this. I don't feel like her flow sounded anything like prior to what I just heard, and I feel like Lotto was an amazing addition. Now, I feel like I'm not too crazy about the bars, but I feel like this is the kind of song, I don't want to be too analytical with y'all. This is the kind of song you listen to while you getting ready for the club with your homegirl. So your homegirl just got out the shower, you in the middle of doing your makeup, you about to slide on your cute outfit, and this is the song you hear. This is what that song gives me, and this was an amazing song. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Great job, Megan. Now let's move on to the next one. Her. All right, so already I'm telling, so already I can tell that this is kind of like a house record, for lack of better terms. I'm not a musician yet. I'm working on it. But it sounds good. It actually sounds like Tinashe hit me up for a good time. You guys should check it out. That's a really good song. Okay, so Her by Megan Thee Stallion. When I first went into it, I realized it was house, but I thought I was gonna get something different. But considering that this song leans towards, I guess, voguing, this is a great song for that. Sonically, this is like an easy song just to kind of get lost in. That's not a bad thing. Like you just get lost and immersed into the ambiance of the song, I guess. I don't hate it. I think it will be a great song for her. Um, it's an easy listen for sure. It's an easy listen. It's not too hard. It's pretty catchy. If you're not a chick who vogues, because I don't, this gives me the song you hear while you're in the club and you've danced your life away, and then it's like you're hot, you're sweaty, you wipe your head off, and you lean yourself on your homegirl's shoulder, and then you hear this and it's like, oh shit, I like this song, I gotta go back in, and then you like popping it and your ass is like scrubbing the ground. This is what I get from that song. Can y'all see that? Okay, so we're gonna move on from this and we're gonna move to her next song, Gift and a Curse. Sounds like it could be deep, but we'll see. We don't judge songs by their titles. Okay, this is one of those moments I feel like she kind of gets lost back in her like old way of rapping. It's a little bland for me, so I'm gonna give Gift and the Curse a 5. I'm pretty sure she's talking about something great, but for me, upon first listen, I wasn't interested. Next record. Is it me or this song already sounds like her song Outside from the debut album? I'm gonna give it a listen. I like Miss Nasty. It might be a song I have to hear in the car late at night after the club or after being out and a little drunk. Yeah, I'm hoping, being that it's called Traumazine, I'm assuming trauma. I don't know what the zine is. It trauma and limousine, trauma and benzene peroxide, trauma and magazine. I'm hoping that we hear something that really pulls at our heartstrings. Next song is Who Me featuring Pooh Shiesty. I don't know why I said it like it had a question mark, child. I thought it did. Okay, here's the problem I have with this song. So, these collaborations Megan had, considering that she's like on the brink if she hadn't hit superstardom, are kind of, not to be rude, but low budget. I mean, no, I don't like it. I don't like the song. And then we all know the shooting situation is kind of the elephant in the room. It's the elephant of 2020, 2021, and 2022. And it still hasn't seen a resolution or proper acknowledgement. We haven't even gotten a final verdict. You know, I feel like if you are going to actively stay away from it, like in your life, I feel like you should have stayed away from it in the music, because I don't know. I think we could have just did without it. So for me, Who Me featuring Pooh Shiesty, it's gonna be a five. It's a five because she wrote it, so there's some credit for that. But I don't really like it. I feel like she could have stayed away from the controversy. We're at track 9 now. Hopefully we get something a little more deep or personal, being that it's titled Traumazine. I mean, this album is supposed to be personal, right? I don't know. Okay, so y'all gonna hate me, but it's a cute, groovy record. Like it's lighthearted. The beat is easy to follow, and she's just talking about liking someone and red wine and I don't know. It's just very sexual and free and liberating. I like it. So for me, this is gonna be a 9 out of 10. All right. So the next record is Scary featuring Rico Nasty. I'm gonna listen before I judge, but I'm gonna comment that we have another feature. I'm not really sure why. Cardi. I know Cardi was available. You don't like Asian City Girls? Flo Millie? I don't know. Let me get out of there. So it gives me Scooby Doo on Zombie Island desired a spooky trap theme song, and they called Megan and Rico nasty for the job. It's giving me China and McClain didn't want to remake Calling All the Monsters, and Megan said, "Don't worry, girl, I got it." It's giving me she wanted her own Disturbia. It just all the ghouls and goblins and the bats and the I feel like Rico Nasty, although talented, I really didn't care for her addition on it. I feel like no, this could have stayed off the album. I guess it fits. I don't even know how it fits with Traumazine. It's a 5 across the board because she wrote it, but I'm not really here for it. It's awful. Could this be a pop song? We'll see. She mentioned her mama. I can't hate the song no more. So I'll be honest, when I first listened to the song, as it was going on, I'm like, okay, you're playing it safe. Like, this is not really, this isn't out of the box. This is just more of the same. And I was all like, okay, it doesn't sound bad, but it's just what you put out before. It's just like, okay, it just sounds the same. But when she mentioned her mom, y'all know how earlier I was saying, is she gonna give me a song that pulls at my heartstrings? She just did it. Like I wish I could talk to my mom and tell her sorry. Are we gonna cry? Probably not, but it was touching. So for that, I give Anxiety an 8. Next song is Flip Flop Bitch. Okay, so as she opened up the record, I started to feel bad because again, she made that mention of her mom and her not having parents. That can really hurt a lot of people. She could have kicked Pooh Shiesty off. What was it? Who Me? And she could have got Kalani or somebody to sing this chorus. I didn't want to hear her sing on this chorus, but I guess because it's a deep cut, she had to deliver it. But no. Let's keep working on it. I didn't like her on the chorus. So the next song is Consistency by Janae Aiko. This is a sample. I think it's, what is it, In Between the Sheets? I was right. See, this is my lane. I knew that was in between the sheets. So she's already starting off right with a sample. Let's just hope she delivers something new. Okay, so consistency is what red wine wanted to be. Consistency is like that ultimate sexually freeing song where she is being braggadocio about her sex. And it was so needed at this point after she went deep, she went into romance, and it was really enjoyable. I'm not too crazed about Janae being on that song. We could have probably used her on the other record I was talking about. Is it Flip Flop? Yeah, we could have used her on Flip Flop, but I really like this. I would have probably liked Megan to sing Consistency on her own. I really like this record. I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. It was a good record. Next song is Star with Lucky Day. Okay, so Star gives me she wanted her own levitating featuring the baby. Y'all know right foot, left foot levitating on it, pop star Dua Lipa and the baby on it. It gives me she wanted to create her own levitating. Did she pull it off? No. But we're gonna give this a 7 out of 10 because I feel like it was a nice departure from the trap beats I was hearing at the top of the album, but it just didn't deliver. It was no earworm, but it was refreshing to hear. So 7 for effort. She lost the other 3 points because it kind of sounded a little generic to me. So the next two songs is Pressurelicious and Plan B. Pressurelicious, I didn't care for. It actually is probably like her newest single out aside from the album. It didn't resonate with me. I guess it was a pretty good job. Future did amazing on it. I was less impressed with what she had to provide. I just didn't like it. And then Plan B, I really don't like at all. Plan B missed me because I don't take it because I'm not a woman. But I could have did without Pressurelicious and Plan B. We're gonna get into Southside Royalty. Okay, so Southside Royalty makes me feel like she wanted to just put people on from her city. It was like okay, I'm gonna pay it for Houston because they have held me down, and I appreciate it. I don't really think it was something that needs to be looked at analytically, deeply. It was an easy little beat with people I don't really know. I don't know Kiki Pokey or Walker. So they did pretty good. And if this is like a segue for them to actually enter the game, let's welcome Kiki Poka and Walker. So let's give kudos to Megan for wanting to help out her people. Okay, so the final song is the lead single, Sweetest Pie, which I feel like is the greatest song on the album because it actually has crossover appeal for hip hop and pop. Dua Lipa was a wonderful addition. I wasn't crazy about the video when it came out. The Hansel Gretel Wizarding World of Harry Potter vibe I got. I was expecting Candyland from Sweetest Pie. Like I was expecting something sweet, not a witch who eats children. But we got it. Time has passed. And that's what we got. So overall, what are we gonna rate this album? I hear some sevens, I hear some tens. I'm gonna sit Traumazine at a 7.5. I'm gonna sit it there because Megan Thee Stallion remains consistent with her sound, but in the same breath, her strong consistency could be looked at as a lack of growth. I expected to see a true departure from Good News, and I just feel like it was a departure and a half. It was a lot more cohesive than Good News, but it was not as impressive as Good News. And her tracks like Outside, her tracks like Do It on the D with the City Girls, what else did she? The Island Caribbean track she did. I can't remember the name of it. That was more impressive and entertaining than what I was given. I feel like the front half of the album, it was a whole lot of the same. She went deep. She pulled out immediately, and she just backloaded all her singles, which, to be honest, not many people can do. Shout out to Ariana and Thank You Next. It's not a common thing where people backload their singles. So for me, I don't like that because it loses its cohesiveness. It makes me think that the real album stopped right before the singles started. So 7.5 due to an attempt at something new. No, she lost points due to a lack of cohesiveness towards the end and a lack of content. So I promised you guys something, and I told y'all I would tell y'all what my third ear for music can predict the next biggest hits to be off this album. So first and foremost, Budget is gonna take over the charts. Budget is a great song. It's radio friendly, it's empowering, and it's easy to listen to. Budget is gonna be a great song. I also predict her. I feel like her is gonna see success quicker than Budget because it's like a no-brainer. Her's gonna do really well. Considering that she already put out Sweetest Pie, Plan B, Pressurelicious, she probably doesn't have that much room to promote much else. I see Budget and her being the last two records, but I see the intro NDA being the record that kind of, it's gonna be kind of like a, see girls, what's their opening? Tighten Up. Other than that, that's all I got to say. So if you enjoyed this video, you guys want to probably stay tuned for my next video where I actually get into some of the biggest hits that we probably are going to hear from Renaissance by Beyonce. So we'll link it over here. Other than that, guys, you have a good one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for the next moment I can provide you guys some impact and influence.